It was called Tapes the Keyhole. She dressed in her husband's clothing once after he was out with the boys and waited for him to come home. When he came home and saw her, he asked her, "Why are you dressed in my clothing?" And she said, "Well, you always want to be out with the boys, and you don't ever want to go out with me, so I thought if I dress up like one of the boys, you would want to spend time with me." And once, when he came home from being out with the boys late one night drinking, she ran a small piece of Scotch tape over the keyhole, and then she listened in the dark when he struggled trying to get the key into his own lock. She loved being the little demon with him that way, and that way. And in that way, he loved her too. This one is called Evolving, Connecting, and Confounding. It concerns me when I see toddlers vying for their mommy's attention, yelling to get to their mom to look up from their smartphone. It confuses me when I hear that IBM Corp, the company that invented the PC, has decided that all of their employees should use Macintosh computers. Riddle me this, Batman. Explain to me why this is a new decree that all IBM employees should now use Macs. It condemns us all when I see an ad on TV of a hero fighting enemies, killing people, escaping certain doom before saving humanity until the PlayStation logo appears, followed by the words, "Greatness awaits." Oh, how confounding, because greatness awaits for those who didn't sit on their comfy cushions and play video games. Heroes act. They don't sit back and escape their reality by playing games of an alternate reality. They make their lives great. So yes, for all you console junkies, greatness still awaits. It consumes me when the town I am from, the city I love, the one with the best architecture, the best skyline from the water, and wait a minute, the best tasting tap water too, and the best blues music, the best cultural mix. And it consumes my soul when the mayor calls Chicago a sanctuary city, further restricting the rights for those who would legally buy guns. Unlike the gangs who, in Chicago over Christmas weekend, shot over 60 people. Of course, there were innocent bystanders. It concerns me, it confuses me, it confounds me, it consumes me. This is commonplace. This is a part of what they call evolution. Or maybe this is a culture. This is how the culture evolves, by staring at a screen on the surface that is small enough that they can see everything they want with their own fingertips. Or maybe it's how culture devolves by not having to remember a thing, because you can always use Google on that phone of yours that's smarter than you. So you can just stare at a screen instead of interacting with actual people. Because why would you want to actually interact with people when you could look at it on a 4-inch square screen instead? I went to a bar and saw two men together at a table, both using their smartphones instead of interacting with each other. But wait a minute, wasn't the point of going out in public to actually interact with people in the first place? Because the bar, the pub, the publican is a place where people were meant to meet up in order to actually interact. But in this past New Year's Eve at a bar on Rainy Street, a group of people were in the bar and they asked if they had TVs so that they could watch a sports game. You see, now this publican has become a place where people can all go to pay attention to anything other than other people that they came with, or anyone for that matter. This is your new future. Because I remember back in the day when me and my friend Jason would have our laptops out at a bar with a bunch of friends, and we would transfer files to each other by putting our laptop sensors in front of each other. So yeah, I was still doing computer geek stuff, but at least it was in public, interacting with actual people while I did it. And this is how we were cutting edge, and this is how we were rebellious, all without losing our connection to people. We look for a happy medium. I'm the woman who uses audio and video sampling with my performances. I'm the woman who uses her own name as a domain name. Has tons of CDs on iTunes and owns an expansive online and print publishing organization incorporating YouTube and Vine videos, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, even Pinterest, Tumblr, and Google+. But I don't know how many times I have been called a Luddite because I only recently got a smartphone. And you know, no one ever calls me on this thing really, so what am I missing out on? Because maybe the problem is trying to come up with that balance with this ever-expanding technology crammed down our throats that we're forced to feel that we need. Sure, we can always want the latest and the newest. We can always forget, though, that a phone used to cost less than $20 per household per month because we always have to give up something to gain something new. We think we have it both ways as we welcome the new millennium, but maybe the real key is to all remember to strike that balance so we don't lose what we loved about the past while embracing and throwing our arms out around the future. The future is ours. Just look before you leap so you know where you'll land and that you'll land on your own 2 feet and you'll land on top. I won't even say the title for this one. I won't even say the title. I'll try. I've been pricing these things out, going to 5 and dimes, searching for a name, searching for pieces of worth. And the only ones I can find are ones of dead people. You have to be dead to be thought of as good, apparently. So I'm seeking out these books, and they're also expensive for someone who's dead. And even at the 5 and dime, I go to the counter and I ask them if they've got something new with poetry. And they just give me this blank stare that you usually get when you ask someone who seems that something to them which seems impossible, but they just try to figure it out. Well, they tell you, well, I'm sorry, we have none. And you ask them, but how much would it cost to get something different, something new, so that people could, and those same people will give you a blank stare again, and they say, oh, well, that stuff doesn't sell. Well, of course not, when you never put it on the market, you think. And you shrug your shoulders, wondering how much for your poem, before you look at the books of all these dead people nobody wants to buy, and then you walk away.
Yeah.